Five Nights at Freddy's 4 released over 10 years ago. Man, 2015 being 10 years ago is just insane. Anyway, since its release, the game has been shrouded in mystery and has remained unsolved ever since. However, can the story of FNaF 4 be solved in 2025? That's what I'm aiming to do here, folks. Just before we begin, make sure to like and subscribe as it would be great, and you can always change your mind in the future if I'm not cooking. Now, let's start the video. If you are new to FNaF 4, here is a brief summary of what happens. FNaF 4 opens up with an 8-bit minigame depicting the crying child being locked in his room, banging on a door, and then eventually collapses to the ground, crying heavily. We are then greeted with the first night gameplay segments, to which there are 8 of them. However, after beating the first 6 nights, you go back to the 8-bit minigames. The first post-night minigame shows the crying child walking around, and once he gets close to the TV, he is jump-scared by his older brother wearing a Foxy mask, and the Fredbear Plush is watching it all. The second minigame has CC in the middle of Fredbear's family diner, crying on the ground, before eventually walking away, before being scared by an employee in a Fredbear suit. The third minigame has CC leaving Fredbear's and walking around the neighbourhood, before heading back to his house, then he's jump-scared by his older brother from underneath the bed. The fourth minigame shows CC being locked in the back room of Fredbear's family diner, presumably by his older brother. The fifth minigame shows the older brother alongside his friends surrounding Cece, who is on the ground. They then grab him and take him to the Fredbear animatronic and place him inside his mouth. They laugh until Fredbear bites down on Cece's skull, critically injuring him. The last minigame shows Cece in a dark abyss type of area, with the Fredbear plush in front of him. The plushies of the main four behind the Fredbear plush start disappearing one by one, until the Fredbear plush disappears and so does Cece, alongside a flat line being heard, proving Cece succumbs to the bite of A3. With the summary out of the way, let's first discuss who is the crying child and the older brother, and which one of them is the protagonist of the night gameplay segments. It's revealed in Location and later installments that they are part of the Afton family, due to the FNaF 4 bedroom and Fredbear plush in William's office in the private room. The older brother is basically confirmed to be Michael Afton, due to the staff bot table showing that Mike and Cece are separate characters, and also the week before book shows that Cece is in Golden Freddy. It may also seem at first glance that we play Cece in the night gameplay segments. However, this is wrong, as a reverse and muffled version of Ralph's FNaF 1 phone call can be heard, and also Mike draws Nightmare Fredbear under a question regarding recent dreams. So yeah, it's confirmed to be Mike as a dreamer. If you want to learn more about this topic, I have a video dedicated to talking about this, so link for it will be in the description below. Now, why is Mike having these nightmares? Well, it's due to a mixture of things. His experience during FNaF 1 as Nightmare animatronics powered other FNaF 1 counterparts, and his guilt from the bite of 83 due to possibly Nightmare Fredbear. The entity pulling the strings behind Mike's nightmares is probably Nightmare himself, who is basically confirmed to be Shadow Freddy, as Nightmare is called Shadow Freddy in the files, and in Ultimate Custom Night, Nightmare says to Afton, "I am your wickedness, made of flesh." It's implied that after you beat the last night, Mike overcomes it all and the nightmares stop. Also, the survival logbook implies that Mike is having the nightmares after the events of Sixth Location. Before we get to the Fredbear plush's identity, I just want to debunk a common misconception about FNaF 4, which is that the dream theory. The theory that the first 3 games are a dream in the mind of the crying child was the original intention of FNaF 4 until Scott later retconned it in Sixth Location due to community backlash. This is wrong for the simple reason that in September 2017, Scott said he retconned one thing in the franchise that was integrated seamlessly and no one seemed to notice. This cannot have been dream theory, since it would not have been a seamless retcon, plus the whole community knew about dream theory. Plus, under this theory, CC would know the exact minimum wage for 1987 and 1993. And also, Scott has joked about dream theory multiple times and even paired it with debunk theories, such as the theory that Afton is phone guy, and the Foxy good guy theory. So, if dream theory was not canon, what does the tiny Chica missing a beak mean if it's not dream theory, as that was the biggest point for it? Well, like a lot of theorists now, I believe this because of memory victim, which is the theory that after CC died, his memories affected and influenced the overall timeline. For example, why is Chica missing a beak in 1987? Because CC saw the tiny Chica without a beak on. Balloon Boy FNaF 2 could be because of the kid holding the balloon that CC saw. The bite of 87 could be due to what happened to CC. Mangle being broken apart in FNaF 2 could be due to the broken Mangle toy in Elizabeth's room. This theory is backed up by the Silver Eyes, which I think Zeterox found in his FNaF 4 video, so credit to him unless someone else did it, but still subscribe to Bro Speak. "I do," Charlie said. She felt like she was talking from a great distance. She was almost surprised they could hear her. I mean, not ghosts, but memories. I think they linger, whenever there's someone there or not. The house, her old house, was imbued with memory, with loss, with longing. It hung in the air like humidity. The walls were saturated, like the wood had soaked in it. It had been there before she came, and it was there now. It would be there forever. It had to be. There was too much. Too great and vast a weight for Charlie to abhor it with her. Maybe they are, Marla said. I don't know. Sometimes I have these little moments where it seems like there's something I forgot, something I regret, or that I'm happy about, or something that makes me want to cry. But it's only there for a split second, then it's gone. Maybe we're all shedding our fear and regret and hope everywhere we go, and we're catching traces of people we've never met. Maybe it's everywhere. How is it different from believing in ghosts? Lamar asked. It's totally different, Marla said. It's not supernatural, and it's not like the souls of dead people. It's just people leaving their mark on the world. So yeah, this is what I think all those dream theory hints really meant, and who knows if memory victim is still the intention nowadays. With all that stuff out the way, let's get into the Fredbear plush's identity. I'm just going to be up front, it's William Afton, and he is also the final speaker as well. This is because the Fredbear plush is literally in Afton's office with a walkie-talkie device on it. So this location was meant to ground the story and help explain elements from FNaF 4, so this is probably Scott's way of saying, yeah, he's the Fredbear plush. Furthermore, the Fredbear Plush says tomorrow's another day constantly, and in Toy Chica's high school years, Toy Chica, who represents William Afton, says tomorrow's another day in the last episode. Also, for the final speaker evidence, the speaker says I will put you back together, and Michael says regarding Elizabeth to William in his dislocation speech, I put her back together, just like you asked me to. So it could imply William has a history of saying this. So yeah, William Afton is the final speaker and the Fredbear Plush. And just want to say another thing, William Afton doesn't care about his kids because else he would have stopped the bullying. We'll care his mid. Now, for the final mystery in FNaF 4 to solve it all, what was in the box? Honestly, no fucking clue, lol. Scott basically said in the second Dorker interview that the box no longer lines up the current story, so it's probably part of a scrap plot point. I do remember in FNaF 4 there was a picture of the box opened in the files, so I feel like it might have been linked to that, but due to FNaF 4 getting a negative reception, even though it was peak fiction, the plot point was scrapped, and that's why the contents of the box have changed over the years, as Scott said in the first Dorker interview. But maybe originally it had something to do with Mike suppressing his trauma or something, that's why I said perhaps some things are best left forgotten for now, because it's him finally moving on from the bite, but I don't know. Everything else in FNaF 4 I can kinda explain, but this is just one thing I can't base a conclusion on. Like, there are just so many good interpretations on what was in that box. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe as I've got videos coming, so you might want to stay tuned for that. Like, see if I cook. Make sure to be respectful to one another in the comments, as it's just a creepy bag at the end of the day. Stay safe, and I'll see you all on the flip side. Goodbye!